Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here for the first FA Cup quarter-final of the season as promotion hunting Bournemouth face Premier League struggling Southampton. The two teams are separated by 30 miles on the south coast, as some label this derby the New Forest derby. The last fixture between these two teams were when they were both Premier League sides. It ended 2-0 Southampton, where a 96th minute Surridge goal for Bournemouth was disallowed and put a huge dent in their bid for safety, and in the end they were relegated. This is the second ever quarter-final for Bournemouth, but for Southampton it is their 18th, and they made 7 semi-finals through those 18 quarter-finals. With both teams wanting a trip to Wembley for the semi-final, who will come out victorious in the clash of the South Coast? We'll have to wait and see. 5 minutes away from kick-off, Southampton are in the tunnel ready, and I'm ready for this game. Should be a good one, hopefully. Southampton, this is a great distraction for them for the Premier League. They've won 1 in their last 13 Premier League games, and that was to rock bottom Sheffield United, who are now obviously manager. Well, they've brought in the under-23s manager, but in terms of a senior proper manager, they've not got anyone at the minute due to Chris Wilder leaving. But that's none of Southampton's business. They've got to focus on the FA Cup quarter-final today against Bournemouth away at the Vitality Stadium. Obviously, this would be one of the classic FA Cup quarter-finals. Small ground, compact ground. It would have been sold out, but unfortunately, no one's allowed in for this game. But that still doesn't take away any meaning of this fixture. You know, FA Cup. Bournemouth are yet to win it. They're yet to get past this stage. Actually, this is only their second time, like I said, in the quarter-final. They've never got to a semi-final, and in Southampton, to be fair, have only won it once as well themselves. That was in 1976 season where they beat Manchester United 1-0 due to a Bobby Stokes goal for Southampton that day. They were obviously not favourites on that day, but they came out victorious. You probably will say Southampton are favourites due to being the club in the Premier League, but Bournemouth are trying to get promotion. They're currently 7th in the Championship. They just won their last game in midweek, 3-0 win at home against Swansea, and Jack Wilshere, who starts today, 2-time FA Cup winner, played fantastically in that game, and they'll be wanting him to do the same again if they can. So we see the lineups there, side of me. Let me just hold on. There we go. Yeah, if you can see the lineups here. Southampton, because they're stronger individually, but Bournemouth, they've got some fantastic players. Begovic in goal, Steve Cook, the captain at the back, with Carter Vickers, who's currently on loan from Tottenham, and you can see the new signing, midfielder Ben Pearson. He starts in the FA Cup. The last game they played in the FA Cup, Bournemouth against Burnley, was Ben Pearson's debut for the club. He plays alongside Wilshere, and then on loan from Atletico Madrid, Rodrigo Riquelme plays on the right wing as Junior Stanislas was injured against Swansea in midweek. And obviously Dominic Solanke, we know a lot about him from the Premier League while he was there, signed from Liverpool back in 2019. He plays up front for Bournemouth, currently on 11 goals this season, all competitions. All of them have come in the Championship. He's only played 23 minutes in the competition this season. That was against Crawley in round 4, so he'll be wanting to make a difference as well. And then Southampton, Fraser Forster, who's been the goalkeeper, and he's played the 3 of the last 4 Premier League games as well. He's in goal. Bednarek and Vestergaard, the usual 2 centre-backs in for Southampton, despite Salisu coming in. Mohamed Salisu doing okay, but he's on the bench. Usual flat midfield form. Diallo's in for an injured Romeu. Gineppo's back in on the left. Nathan Teller drops to the bench. And up front, no Danny Ings, so they're going to have to rely on the goals. They've chaired them, and they've come in recent times. 3 goals in his last 3 games. So he's in top form for this game. Let's just hope for a good quarter-final today. If you're in the chat, say hello. If you've got any score predictions, put them in the chat as well. Kick-off is about to get underway in a minute time. A very early kick-off, 12:15. Absolutely ridiculous, but it is what it is. It's for television reasons, to get all the games on at the same time. Referee today is Martin Atkinson. His assistant referees are Stuart Burt and Konstantin Hasidikis as well. He's on the 4th official is Simon Hooper, and there is VAR apparently for this game. David Coote, and assistant VAR is Nick Hopton as well. Hopton. So there is VAR. That's what it says on the FA Cup website anyway. So we're just gonna have to believe what they say. As we are about to get on the way, it's going to be Southampton to kick off. Kicking left to right, Bournemouth right to left as players take the knee, and quite a few Bournemouth players don't actually. Wow, that's really interesting. Not just black players but white players as well. Some of them not taking the knee. Obviously, you would have heard the Glenn Kamara incident for Rangers and on Thursday against Slavia Prague as we have kicked off for this game, Bournemouth versus Southampton. That was interesting. That a lot of players not taking the knee there for Bournemouth, like some white and black players. As we've currently got a throw-in for Southampton on the left, very small pitch here at Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. Get the timer started as well. There we go. So we've got in the midfield with Diallo back to Yannick Vestergaard for Southampton. He's going to go for a crossfield ball to Kyle Walker-Peters. Forward to Stuart Armstrong, being dispossessed by Ben Pearson. He sends away Dan Juma on the left, the number 10 for Bournemouth. He's getting an overlap of Rico. Will he use him, the left back? No, he won't. He'll go on himself, Dan Juma, play back to Pearson. Now uses the width of the pitch with the full-back Rico. Can't play it inside to Billing. It deflects off Walker-Peters, and Bednarek avoids the corner and sees it out for a throw-in for Bournemouth. It's the best he could do. Is the man from Preston. Ben Pearson gets it into Dan Juma. Out wide to Rico. Gets an early cross in, and it's nearly met by Solanke. Collected by Forster. Good start from Bournemouth. Really positive start. Down this left-hand side, Dan Juma and Rico, I think, is going to be the most dangerous side. On the opposite side, I've got Raquelme and Jack Stacey, but Rico and Dan Juma have been fantastic this season, especially Dan Juma, 10 goals this season, 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 league games. So it shows that the Belgian winger, the Dutch winger, is on fire. As Redmond picks it up inside the Bournemouth half for Southampton. Back to Ryan Bertrand. It's Diallo, the number 27. Signed in the summer. Diallo is in place of Romeu. It's a long ball from Vestergaard. Finds Kyle Walker-Peters right up to the byline on the opposite side. It's a great ball. Back to Stuart Armstrong. He's in the box on the right hand side. He's gone to his left. Cuts back onto his right. Keeps it away from Pearson and gets a cross in. Stands up to the back post where Gineppo heads it to the edge to keep it alive. To Diallo. Swings a shot / cross. I'm not sure what he was going for there, Diallo. But the ball goes out. And is that a corner? May have took a deflection actually. Let's have a look here. Stuart Armstrong crossed into Gineppo, headed it down towards Diallo, got a scuff strike on it, and I think it's a goal kick. Oh, it's a corner. I didn't quite see the deflection. I'm presuming it did, but that Diallo strike, that was very wayward. Took a little nick, I'm presuming, and wins the corner. And they've got players who can attack them. You know, Yannick Vestergaard, 6'6", Bednarek, 6'2". They go short to Redmond, who tries to feed it back through to Ward-Prowse and can't quite find the English midfielder, who did get a call up in the week, and it goes out for a goal kick. Nathan Redmond and Ward-Prowse couldn't quite work it between them. I thought it would have been a good chance for Ward-Prowse, the captain, to get a ball in the box, but they tried to do a corner routine, and even if Ward-Prowse had got the return ball, I think he may be offside anyway, so would not have mattered really. Positive start from both teams the first 3 minutes as Asmir Begovic takes the goal kick, and I think it's going to go right out for a throw-in for Southampton on their right-hand side. Poor kick there from Asmir Begovic, the 33-year-old Bosnian, playing his 110th game for the club after signing from Chelsea around 4 years ago now. And he's only got the one win against Southampton in his career, and he's also got a goal. You might remember famously for Stoke City when he scored in his own box from one of the first kicks of the game. It was about 15 seconds in. He scored. Not intentionally, of course, but it went in, and that was a long time ago. That was in the 2013-14 season, so Bournemouth might be asking for him to do the same again, scoring another goal. Likeliness of that is very unlikely, but you never know. As the ball lips in the air and Vestergaard heads away for Southampton down towards the left-hand side as Che Adams has been brought to the ground, but Ryan Atkinson sees nothing wrong with it, and play continues. As you might have heard, Che Adams getting the Scotland call-up for the upcoming international games, making that switch from English to Scottish. So interesting to see how he does there. Gineppo gets it away from Jack Stacey, and they've worked it to Che Adams on the edge of the box, rolls it over to Diallo, who's going to Fancy another strike again. It's a brave block by Pearson. It sends it to Rico, who finds Billing. Tries to play it back towards Rico, being cut out by Diallo, and it goes for a Bournemouth throw-in. Just need to be careful there, Bournemouth, because like I said, the pitch is so tight and small. If you do lose possession, it can flip on you easily, and they can get in behind. But they dealt with it that time. A very brave block by Pearson, like I said, on the Diallo shot, who got a better shot off than he did the last time. Billing flicks on the throw-in, but met by Bednarek, falls back towards Billing, and he leaves it for Pearson, who can't get it forward, but he's able to win it back alongside Wilshere on Stuart Armstrong, and they send it down the channel, but Bednarek again intercepts and pokes it down the line and can't be kept in Southampton colours, and Rico can play it forward to Billing, who's again on the half turn and strides away from Ward-Prowse. Can he release the ball maybe? Billing, he does to Danjuma on the left, one-on-one with Peters. He's got Armstrong as well to beat, and he cuts past them both onto his right foot and plays it across to Stacey. Tries to lift the cross in, and it deflects off Gineppo, and a corner kick it'll be for Bournemouth. Their first one of the game. One apiece on the corners. It's good play. Danjuma looks a real threat, the left winger for Bournemouth. On out to Danjuma. Did play a handful of Premier League games before being relegated. Bournemouth. Danjuma played 14. Wasn't involved in any goals, unfortunately. But like I mentioned with Southampton, they've got their threats. Then Bournemouth definitely have, with the two centre backs, Carter Vickers and Cook forward. Billing as well at 6'3". The number 29, he's in a pack with Solanke as well. The cross is going to be put in. It's an outswinging one towards the near post, where it can be headed away by Armstrong and then helped back in towards by Steve Cook, but it falls right into the hands of Fraser Forster. He looks to try and set up a quick attack by hoofing the ball forward with a right-footed volley. He looks for Che Adams, and it's just a little bit too much on it for the striker, for the Scottish striker. And the ball goes out of play, but it's good thinking there by Forster. Try to set away Southampton on the attack, but not to be, as Steve Cook's got it for Bournemouth. Gets it into Jack Wilshere on the edge of the box. Former Arsenal player, in towards Billing. Lays it back off to Wilshere in the Bournemouth half. Over to Ben Pearson. Now finds Rico. Danjuma gets it to Rico. Forward to Billing. Lays it off Danjuma. Back towards Billing. Unfortunate play there from Bournemouth, as James Ward-Prowse goes in there on a heavy challenge, and he's come out worse there, but it's fell towards Carter Vickers in the end for Bournemouth. Is kind of a pinball there in the midfield, and they've played it forward to Riquelme on the right wing for Bournemouth. Good strong tackle by Bertrand. There's now a Gineppo in towards Redmond, who holds it up and finds Gineppo after his pass has been deflected to the left winger. It's now Ward-Prowse back to Vestergaard right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Clipped ball over to Walker Peters, who takes it on the chest nicely. Walker Peters, he's got a goal in this competition against Rochdale a few seasons ago for Tottenham, and it's now to Armstrong. Lifts it in towards Che Adams in the box, who takes a heavy touch and can't avoid it going out for a goal kick. And another failed attack there for Southampton. It was actually the opposite way around. It was actually Danjuma putting a strong challenge there on Ward-Prowse, and although he got the ball, the follow-through did just catch the Southampton captain, but Mine Atkinson played on in the end. So hopefully we're going to be looking for a better Begovic goal kick here. The last one went straight out for a goal kick. They do like to get it as wide as they can, as it's going to be Billing on Ward-Prowse, and obviously Billing wins that header up to Solanke. Tries to take it on the chest, but he's been tackled by Bednarek, and he helps it forward as far as Steve Cook, the Bournemouth captain. Another great clip ball out wide right to Stacey. Riquelme, 1-2 back to Stacey. Great play for Bournemouth. He tries to take it into his stride, but he's been picked off by Diallo, and Vestergaard can play it forward to Gineppo. Gets it away from Riquelme, and has to avoid some challenges. He needs to try and release it if he can, Gineppo, and he does. But he goes straight to Danjuma, the Bournemouth winger, and they're already in the final third here. Bournemouth, with Rico making an overlap. He's going to use him if he can, and he gets it towards the cross, and it's been met by Kyle Walker-Peters, but came off the full-back last of Bournemouth, and it'll be a goal kick. Nice play from Danjuma, running at Ward-Prowse and using the overlap, and as he's gone to cross it, he's been pressured by Walker-Peters in the end, and the cross went straight out for a goal kick. He's played it short here to Vestergaard. Left-footed ball over to Kyle Walker-Peters. Bednarek back to the goalkeeper, Fraser Forster. Vestergaard to Diallo. Signed in the summer, like I said before, from Stade Brest 29 in France. He's only 22. 4 under 21 appearances for France. Diallo, is he still on the ball? And he won all 4 of those games. Brian Bertrand, who's going to look to bring it forward, enters the Bournemouth half, plays it forward to Gineppo, back into Bertrand. Redmond, who's come deep for the ball, now finds Ward-Prowse. Over to Bednarek. Another ball over the top, looking for Walker-Peters in behind. He's been fouled, he's in behind, pulls it across towards Che Adams, and it's been diverted into his own goal by Carter Vickers. And just before the 10-minute mark, Bournemouth have been caught out in behind, and they couldn't stop the marauding run of Kyle Walker-Peters. You thought the fullback might be looking for his second FA Cup goal in his career, but he decided to be unselfish, look for the assist. Gets in behind, might be off, it's a close call, but it's a great ball from Bednarek, and him and Vestergaard have been doing that all game so far, those diagonal switches towards Kyle Walker-Peters. This one was pinpoint accuracy, found the fullback, in behind, great touch, across goal. If Carter Vickers didn't try and divert the ball away, it would have been an easy tap-in for Che Adams anyway, so he's tried to get the ball away from the striker and he's put it into his own goal in the end. So it was a lose-lose really for Carter Vickers, because if he leaves the ball, Che Adams is going to put it away. But they are just checking here for VAR. It could be disallowed. It's a very tight call. Oh, it's been called offside. Wow. It's a shoulder, it's an armpit again. Carter Vickers has got away with that one, the man on loan from Tottenham. Wow. I'm not sure about that one. It's a shoulder again. And Bournemouth will definitely feel they've got away with that one. Southampton will feel hard done by. But Carter Vickers has got away with one there, and they need to be careful, because that's like the 3rd time in 10 minutes that Southampton have done a diagonal switch in behind for Kyle Walker-Peters, but that time it worked efficiently, and they did get a goal from it, but it's been disallowed for offside. The rules are the rules, and we do continue with a Begovic ball forward, headed on by Solanke, looking for Danjuma. It has to be cleared away by Kyle Walker-Peters on the byline, out for a throw-in for Bournemouth, right in towards the corner flag. But it's very tight, very tight. Danjuma gets the throw-in from Rico, and he's tackled, and it's another throw-in. But you've got to remember, for Bournemouth, they haven't had VAR for the whole season, now in the Championship, so it's come back for them, and they've been rewarded by it as well. Throw-in's gone to Billing, lays it back off to Rico, good crossing, headed away by Bednarek, and flicked away by Redmond for a throw-in for Bournemouth to avoid any further attacks for the minute. The throw-in's been taken, here's Carter Vickers to Wilshere, number 11, signed as a free agent, has been released by West Ham. Gets his ball to Jack Stacey, inside to Billing, can't quite control it, and it can be given back to Southampton with Diallo. Bertrand, the left back, plays it forward nicely to Che Adams, uses the flick on towards Redmond, and he gets the return here, Che Adams. I think he was off a Bournemouth defender, but then again he sets away Stuart Armstrong on this right hand side. Rico's giving chase, and he's going to get there first, the Scotsman, but he's been challenged way too easily and wins the ball back there, Rico, and plays it down the line towards Danjuma, stopped by Walker-Peters, a throw-in for Bournemouth. We'll play then again, but it looks like attacking wise, Bournemouth are strongest down the left, but defensively they're weakest down the left. They're really being targeted down that left hand side. But it's Diego Rico with a throw-in. Throws to Wilshere, back to Rico, Wilshere again. Steve Cook, left-footed clearance down the line, helped on by Danjuma, looking for Solanke, but it's Vestergaard to lift it forward and get there ahead of the striker, and headed back towards him by Rico, and it falls to Ward-Prowse in the end, lifts it towards Armstrong. He can't find Redmond, and Danjuma has it, but tackled by Walker-Peters. It falls to Rico, helps it down the line towards Billing, but he can't get there ahead of Bednarek. It's been forced back to Forster, who finds the midfielder Diallo. Into James Ward-Prowse, forward to Armstrong. Redmond, Armstrong looking forward for Che Adams, but it goes beyond him, and it falls to Jack Stacey, the right back. He lays off to Begovic, who clears away first time. Up towards Solanke again. He does win the header forward, but there's no one there in a Bournemouth shirt to collect, and Southampton have the ball again. And Vestergaard, nice ball out wide to Armstrong, inside to Redmond, who's peeled out to the right hand side. He's got support of Walker-Peters on an overlap. He's going to run at the defence. Is he going to use the right back? No, he's going to put a cross in himself, and blocked away by Steve Cook, and he lifts it away for a throw-in for Southampton as they look to keep this attacking momentum. Just on 15 minutes in, still 0-0. Should be 1-0 to Southampton, but a very tight VAR call disallowed it on Carter Vickers, the own goal, so we'll be delighted that didn't stand. Walker Peters takes the throw-in into Armstrong. Charges down the right-hand side and gets beyond Ben Pearson. He's on the byline. Can he find the pullback? He does, and he finds Bertrand, and his shot has just drifted wide of the left-hand post. Good work from Armstrong. Got past Ben Pearson way too easily. Bit of pace and a bit of strength. Got beyond him. Went for the pullback, and he found the space where Bertrand was coming in on the edge of the box and looked to open up his body to find the far post there, Bertrand. But it was always curling wide of the post there for Ryan Bertrand, yet to score this season for Southampton. He did have time on loan at Bournemouth, and he made a senior debut for them at the age of 17. Ryan Bertrand, age of 17, he's now at the age of 31. Vestergaard heads forward with the Begovic goal kick, and to Billin, who heads it onto Solanke, cleared away by Bednarek, straight to Diego Rico. He lifts the ball forward in behind, but not enough room for Solanke to get on the end of it, and Fraser Forster can catch the ball and distribute to James Ward-Prowse. In the Southampton half is Diallo. Over to Bertrand as they look to attack the Bournemouth goal. And he plays it forward to Gineppo, who's just lost his foot in there, and Carter Vickers can take over and get it to Jack Stacey, the right back. Lifts it forward towards Solanke, cut out by Ward-Prowse. Vestergaard lift it forward. Can't find Redmond, and it can be cleared away by Stacey. And it's just sliced out for a throw in there by Vestergaard for Bournemouth. Still really tight and compact. It's Jack Stacey with the throw-in to Jack Wilshere. Carter Vickers. And here's Asmir Begovic. Cleared first time. Loops in the sky and misses everyone, and just thankfully for Bednarek falls right onto his chest, and he can have cruise control of the situation. Play Vestergaard. Bertrand inside to Diallo. First time left-footed ball lifted forward, and Redmond and Adams can give chase, but it allows Steve Cook to volley it away. Does find the touch of Solanke, but he couldn't keep it within the size of the pitch, and another throw-in for Southampton. Not got many options here. Bertrand, but he does find Ward-Prowse. Back to Bertrand, who lifts the ball over to Walker Peters, who chests it down beautifully, but he's lost his footing, and it allows Ben Pearson to take over, but his touch is too heavy and just runs out of room on that Bournemouth left. And thankfully for Kyle Walker Peters, that loss of footing doesn't bite him on the backside, because Ben Pearson couldn't take full control of the situation as Walker Peters looks to clear it to the opposite side to Bertrand. He does find him nice, and he helps it on forward to Chad, who's got a foot race against Carter Vickers. He's going to get there ahead of the centre half. Has to hold it up, back to goal, using his strength, and looks to play it inside towards Armstrong, but Wilshere's there to win the ball back, and he's been tripped up there, I think, by Armstrong on the edge of the box, and couldn't win a free kick there. Jack Wilshere for Bournemouth, as that attack has been controlled. Well, it's actually Redmond who got the footing on Wilshere to bring him down. Looked dangerous there. Che Adams got the better of Carter Vickers for the first part. Dan Zuma's been released on the left here. Going to try and knock it past Kyle Walker Peters. Does do so, but then on the recovery, Walker Peters just about gets a foot in and wins it back for Southampton on their right back area. It's Diallo inside to Bednarek, who's in the 18-yard box, being pressed by Billin. He's been allowed to play it forward to Ward-Prowse. Over to the left to Ryan Bertrand. Inside to Ward-Prowse, heavy touch, and he's been caught there late by Billin, but the ball was there to be won. But Southampton have been able to shift it quick enough to move it away from Bournemouth, as I think Ward-Prowse is already back on his feet. That was a poor touch by the captain. He allowed Billin to try and get there, and I don't think there was a foul in there, to be honest. Bednarek forward to Redmond, who's allowed to turn the striker, and can he find a strike partner for today? Che Adams, he's making a run. He's going to try to go on his own here, Redmond, and nearly got through, but his touch went all the way to Begovic, who can clear it away first time up towards Solanke, as he's rode on the back there of Bednarek, and play continues as the ball fell straight to Southampton, as Solanke literally was bouncing on the back of Bednarek there, as It's a back heel towards Bertrand's been completed by Gineppo, but it's not found the left back in the end. And again, it's been played back to Begovic, who can clear up the pitch towards Bill, and he does flick it onto Solanke, and he's got there. He's one-on-one with Vestergaard. Stuart Armstrong's trying to help out, and he does get a foot in, but it's fell straight to the on-running Billin, who can't quite get there ahead of Vestergaard, who can clear away up towards Che Adams, who's brought it down on the halfway line. He's going to look for the ball across to Armstrong, and Kyle Walker-Peters making a run beyond, and he's found the right back, and he's using Redmond as a decoy to find the space inside. As he plays a right-footed ball alongside to Armstrong. It's now Gineppo, one-on-one with Jack Stacey. He's in the box. He works onto his left foot on the byline, tries to get a pull back. It's been blocked off by the right back, Jack Stacey. And a corner kick it'll be for Southampton, for Bournemouth to defend. He went up for the throw in there, and Solanke literally just was riding on the back of Bednarek as he crashed to the ground. That was a good chance there for Solanke, who got on the flick on by Billin, but Armstrong's tackle there as he was helping out his defence was vital for Southampton, as they could score the first goal of the game here, or the first goal that may stand, because we've already had one, but it was disallowed. It's Ryan Bertrand. It's an out-swinging cross up towards the near post. Poor fellows to Danjuma, who heads it to the edge of the box where Armstrong can have a left-footed strike, and it just goes past the post in the end. Yeah, it's just the right arm of Kyle Walker-Peters that's offside, which is ridiculous because you're not really allowed to use your arm, are you? It's a good goal as well. I know the end product was an own goal, but I mean, the build-up for it that caused the own goal was fantastic. The goal was not to stand, maybe due to the frustration of the Southampton fans, but what can you do with VAR involved? Begovic goal kick. Flicked on by Solanke, definitely shoved Diallo there, but play continues as Solanke gets the ball back, but he's been tackled there by Vestergaard. And play continues with Gineppo. Armstrong, as Vestergaard was challenged heavily there, but they kept the ball anyway, so the complaints did come to a halt there from Southampton. Bertrand inside to Ward-Prowse, poke to Redmond, back towards Bertrand, but it's gone straight to Solanke, who finds Danjuma. He's got a lot of room down the left. He can try and take on Bednarek. He enters the box. Can he get onto his left foot? He can. On a tight angle. Forces a save at the near post from Forster. And they'll go for a throw-in for Bournemouth right towards the corner flag. Play from Danjuma. Poor from Southampton. Redmond's sloppy play. Can't find Bertrand. It fell to Solanke, who set away the Dutch left winger as he took on Bednarek. Good defending really from Bednarek. I know the shot was allowed in the end, but he forced him so far out wide that it was pretty much near impossible for Danjuma to find the goal there. Rico has it. Billing can't take it under control and cleared away down the Southampton right, but it can be collected by Steve Cook on the Bournemouth left and forces it back to his goalkeeper Asmir Begovic. 16 clean sheets in all competitions for Begovic. One in this year's FA Cup. And that was against Burnley in the last round. Ben Pearson in the left back area. Goes back to Steve Cook. Been at Bournemouth for a long time now. Steve Cook, 10 years now, signed from Brighton. There's Jack Wilshere. I think just lost the ball there. But Vestergaard got a strong challenge there by Wilshere as he won the ball off Solanke, and then Wilshere went in there strong, won the ball, but strong. Play continued. Anyways, Armstrong's given it away, but he's won it back due to Wilshere misplacing a pass, and he's won the foul against Wilshere there, Armstrong, as he was just being pulled back by the midfielder. That's poor though from Bournemouth. Before they had good possession with Steve Cook, and then in the midfield they just lost it with a misplaced pass. Been a great game so far, really open game between these two sides on the South Coast, as they'll be looking to get to a semi-final if they can. The ball's been found to Gineppo, met by Stacey, and he's been pulled down by the right back, and Martin Atkinson gives the free kick on the left hand side. It'll be a great chance for Southampton to work across into the box here. Just caught from behind there, Gineppo, and the free kick the free kick magician will change that too. Ward-Prowse is over it. Maestro. I can't say the name. The word. Oh, it doesn't matter. Great chance to put a ball into the box and possibly score before the 25-minute mark. Begovic giving instructions to his wall and his players in the box to make sure they stay tight, because this could result in Southampton's goal. Here it is, good lifted ball in by Ward-Prowse, the header won by Carter Vickers and volleyed away by Danjuma. Only as far as Kyle Walker-Peters on the halfway line. He's been pressed by Riquelme, so has to go back to his goalkeeper Fraser Forster. Takes a touch and just about plays it forward to Walker-Peters as he's been rushed on by Riquelme. The fan Ward-Prowse on the left plays a ball through towards Gineppo, who looked to try and get beyond Carter Vickers but was brought down in the process in a free kick again for Southampton on the left hand side. Good play there from Gineppo to let the ball run and be brought down by the centre back of Bournemouth, Carter Vickers, who's an American international. He's got 8 appearances for his country. Carter Vickers, and yet to win when he's played Southampton, the under-21s anyway. He's not quite played the Southampton senior team, Carter Vickers. When playing the under-21 side, he's drew twice and lost once. Very similar area, probably just a bit more inside here for Southampton, not as wide as the last one. But the same players have stood over it, Ward-Prowse and Bertrand, and I'm going to presume it's the right foot of Ward-Prowse to cross it in, and it is, or it's a shot maybe, try to catch out Begovic at the near post, but he's not going to beat the Bosnian from that range with that power as well. Not quite caught it the way he would have wanted to do there, Ward-Prowse. Begovic just throws it to the right back. Stacey goes inside to get away from Gineppo and finds Wilshere, who's just taking his time on the ball and is able to find Begovic, who takes a left-footed touch and a right-foot clearance up towards Riquelme, who doesn't win the header on Bertrand, and it falls to Ward-Prowse. Chadams, Ward-Prowse with a strong tackle, but can't keep it in the Southampton possession. Begovic can clear it away as it was worked back to him by Carter Vickers, and Diallo misses his header, but it falls to Vestergaard and uses his centre-back partner Bednarek to find Fraser Forster. He takes a touch and clears it towards Gineppo on the left, heads it down, as far as Wilshere, who looks forward for Riquelme, but it's Ward-Prowse in there quickly to take the ball away. Adams towards Diallo, he's tried to let the ball run across him, but it's been picked up by Riquelme. Now Billing out wide left to Danjuma. He's got Rico as an overlap again. Always an option for him, but he goes inside towards Billing, lays it back off towards Danjuma on the edge, tackled by Diallo, and he takes the ball away from the winger, and it's to the makeshift striker Redmond, who works it to Fraser Forster and clears it away. More in panic than searching for a player, and it's a throw in for Bournemouth in their right back area. That Danjuma on the left wing for Bournemouth is definitely a source of danger, that's for sure. Rico to Steve Cook. Over to Carter Vickers. Just about gets it to Jack Stacey. Down the line it goes to Riquelme. Can't keep it in his possession. Gineppo picks it up and he's been tackled strongly there by Jack Stacey. And it bounced off the Southampton winger last for a Bournemouth throw-in. His current manager, Jonathan Woodgate, is leading this team. He was at Middlesbrough for a little bit of time. There for 41 games, and he only won 9 of them at Middlesbrough, but since taking over at Bournemouth on the 3rd of February, he's played 11, won 6, only lost 3 as well, scoring 16 and conceding 10. They'll be looking to add some more of those 16 goals, adding a few more today if they can, as Gineppo's been tackled strongly there right on the halfway line by Jack Stacey, and he leaves the protest of that it wasn't a foul, but Martin Atkinson's give it, and Gineppo stayed on the ground. Have a look here. Bit of both there from the right back on the Southampton left winger. Got a bit of the ball, took a bit of the man as well. Bit of a 50-50 there, but Atkinson's give it to Southampton for the free kick. Bednarek has it for Southampton at the back. Forward to Redmond, out wide right to Armstrong. Not really getting pressed as he's in his own half here, Armstrong. Back to Ward-Prowse it goes. Still in the Southampton half, just keeping possession. Bednarek, here's the ball over the top, down the right hand side again, but no one's there, and a shout from Begovic to Rico telling him to leave it, because unlike Walker-Peters usually making those runs in behind, it wasn't to be that time, and the ball was just played into a corridor of no one there, and Bournemouth can have it back, and they've already tried to play down the line to Billing, who lets it go for Danjuma, who bursts ahead of Bednarek, and he gets brought down, and the referee blows for a free kick and a yellow card for Bednarek. He's played 8 FA Cup games now, including today, and in half of those games he's picked up a yellow card. That's his 4th yellow card now in 8 FA Cup games, and it's a definite yellow card. It's a cynical challenge on Danjuma, who had the beating of Bednarek for sure. Clipped his left leg, and Solanke was away on the counter attack, and I'm surprised Martin Atkinson didn't play advantage, to be honest. But it is what it is. Free kick, and it's been given, and Bednarek's on thin ice now for the rest of the game, picking up that yellow card. It's a great chance, because obviously the pitch isn't the biggest, even though it's more towards the halfway line than it is the 18-yard box. The 18-yard box isn't that far away, so it's actually a great chance for a Rico cross here. It's a high line about 10 yards above the 18-yard box from Southampton, as it's been clipped in and headed away by Che Adams, always far Steve Cook, who drills it into the box, and Riquelme, the man from Atletico Madrid on loan this year, gets a snapshot away towards the near post, and it's just gone wide. Great ball from Rico, clipped in to an area of danger, but it's a poor header away from Che Adams, as it fell to Steve Cook, who just zipped it into the box looking for a man in red and black, and it was Riquelme who was able to shift his feet into a place where he could get a shot away, but it's just fizzed wide of the post. And both teams getting equal chances. It's there for the taking for either team. You won't put money on this game, that's for sure. As it's Vestergaard, Ibrahima Diallo brings it forward to Bednarek, the man on the yellow card now for Southampton. Inside to Ward-Prowse, just about to get to him as he was being pressed there by Billing. Ward-Prowse. Diallo for Southampton. They've only won 1 game since the FA Cup win to get them to this stage, and that was against Wolves away in a 2-0 win, and that was thanks to goals from Armstrong and Danny Ings. That was all the way back on the 11th of February, so they've had to wait about 5.5 weeks for this game. All teams involved. They're going to look to try and get to Wembley, as Redmond's fell to the ground and couldn't get the Bertrand pass, and Bournemouth can bring it away with Riquelme. Can't quite find Billing, and it's tackled there by, I think, Ward-Prowse, and a throw in it'll be for Bournemouth right on the halfway line on the right hand side. It's Fraser Forster, who's been back in the team quite a lot recently. Like I said, he's played 3 of the last 4 games. The one he missed out on in those 4 games was City away, where McCarthy ended up conceding 5 goals. But he has been the FA Cup keeper this year, and he's kept clean sheets in all the 3 games that he's played in the competition, and all the games that Southampton have played. And they were against Shrewsbury, Arsenal and Wolves, so back-to-back away games in the Cup, and they've got an attack to deal with here as Danjuma's got it on the Bournemouth left. He's going to look to... I thought he was going to go onto his right foot, but he played to Rico, but he's got the return, and goes inside to Wilshere, who holds it up and plays it back to Ben Pearson in the left-back area. Now Steve Cook, over to Jack Stacey, the number 17, inside to Riquelme, takes it in nicely and avoids the tackle of Ward-Prowse and plays it inside to Solanke, holds it up and lays it back into the Spanish right winger, and he does get a shot away there, around 20 yards out. He was never going to trouble Fraser Forster in the Southampton goal. It was good play by the number 20, Riquelme. Played it to Solanke, who held it up against Bednarek and laid it back into the winger. And to be fair to him, despite off target and being pressured, he did work a shot on target. Like I said, he was never going to trouble Fraser Forster. They've got to have a hurried clearance here, the goalkeeper up towards Walker-Peters, who volleys it back inside. It's going to be Steve Cook to get there and heads it over to Rico, who heads inside to Wilshere, down to Ben Pearson. Nice play here from Bournemouth as they look to attack again. Forward to Danjuma, the number 10. Can he take on Diallo and Walker-Peters? Great skill to try and get in between them both, but it's Armstrong who brings it away in the end, as Danjuma was sort of sandwiched there. The referee didn't think it was a foul. There's been a crossfield ball for Southampton, seen out by Jack Stacey. Gineppo couldn't keep it in. Bronze Bridge, 2-1 Cherries. I mean, this game is there. There's going to be goals, so I can definitely see Bournemouth taking this game. I think either team can take it. It's been really open. Both teams looking to score and get the first goal. We obviously have had a goal with Southampton, but he was disallowed for offside. And Walker-Peters, who was able to cut it back, looking for Che Adams, but it was diverted by Carter Vickers into his own goal. But it was disallowed, as Solanke's been brought down by Kyle Walker-Peters on the Bournemouth left to win a free kick for his team in another dangerous area. If you are new, please subscribe as well. I know there's not many people, and there hasn't been for the last few streams, but it is what it is. If you don't mind subscribing, even if you don't come back again, unless you subscribe, so if there is another game you're interested in, it's there for you. Fair dues to you commentating 90 minutes straight. No, thank you. I want to do it as a career, so it's nice to get a bit of just a bit of experience doing it. Can be a bit hard sometimes filling in, some of the game where it's just passing about, but I enjoy it. As Rico puts a great cross in, Bertrand can volley it away towards Carter Vickers, who heads it down to Billing on the far right hand side. He's been pressured by Adams. Forced all the way back. He's split into Carter Vickers, who just about gets it to Jack Stacey on the halfway line. Now over to Diego Rico. Here's Dan Zuma. Strong tackle by Armstrong, throwing for Bournemouth. If you know of course I know Matt Goldbridge. Of course. What a legend. What a legend. Subscribe. Thank you very much, mate. The new Peter Jordan. That's the best compliment I've got. He's my favourite commentator. It's weird you say that. That's really weird. That's like my favourite commentator. That's the best. It's the best compliment I've had. Literally, he's the commentator I look up to the most. Definitely. I think he's just amazing at what he does. Solanke nips in front of Vestergaard in the box to get the ball and look to pull it back towards Riquelme, and it nearly bobbled off him into space for him to shoot, but it fell to Forster in the end, who came out quick to collect the ball. Solanke did well there to get away from Vestergaard, pulled it back to Riquelme, who was just able to get it in front of him, but too far ahead of him to get a shot away. But yeah, Peter Drury, what a guy. Some of his lines he comes out with, just the imagination just really brings the game to life, doesn't he? But no, thanks for that compliment. That means a lot. You a PSG fan? No, I just like their clothes they bring out. But no, not a PSG fan. Ball there towards Redmond, just about gets to him in the end as he's been pressured by Carter Vickers. He's got to go back to Bednarek. Walker Peters, left-footed ball lifted inside, but it's Ben Pearson for Bournemouth to pick it up and try and play it forward to Billing, who takes it down and gets it back to Ben Pearson on the left. Bournemouth back in possession in the Southampton half. Rico can't quite find Billing forward, and Walker Peters does go forward to Nathan Redmond, who can run at Carter Vickers. You've got support of Gineppo down the left-hand side. He's going to line and look for him in behind, and he has done so past Jack Stacey, and he slots it down to the bottom right corner, and Southampton are in the lead again, and I'm sure this one will stand as Moussa Gineppo slots it past Begovic in the Bournemouth goal to give Southampton the lead. Another easy pass through the Bournemouth defence, catches them out. Carter Vickers there, not being able to stay in control of his defence there. He was won by Walker Peters. He went inside to Redmond, and he was just looking to run at Carter Vickers, who's a little bit out of position. As he's committed to try and press Redmond, he's left a huge gap for where Redmond can just slot the ball through to Gineppo, who got beyond his marker of Jack Stacey, who couldn't follow his run. He fell to the deck. It allowed Gineppo to run forward on the left-hand side, open up the body, on refashion, curling it into the far corner. Begovic no chance. And Moussa Gineppo gives Southampton the lead once again, and this lead will stand. This will stay this goal, and he gets his second goal of the season in all competitions in the 37th minute. So it's Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1, but I wouldn't rule out Bournemouth, that's for sure. But they took the lead once, Southampton, and they took the lead again. User more views, classmate 2-1 Southampton. Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, like I said, this game can go. I know Southampton have just took the lead. They've got a goal kick now as Bournemouth look to play it far forward. But I can see this going to extra time. Maybe Bournemouth. I can definitely see Bournemouth scoring. That's a good thing. It's not like they've conceded and they've got to chase the game. I think they'll still go the way they were going. But Redmond with a great assist to create the goal. Yeah, they do awesome kits. Yeah, I want Bournemouth to win. Like I said, don't rule them out. Dan Zuma on the left and Billing and Solanke, they've got bags of talent in the forward areas. But just Carter Vickers has had a bit of a mare at the back for Bournemouth, and he conceded an own goal for the first goal Southampton had in the net, but that was disallowed for offside. And there he was just a bit all over the place defensively and allowed Gineppo to get in between the space. And here's Gineppo on the ball again. Side to Diallo. A lot more men back for Bournemouth now for this attack. Bertrand, Diallo, back to Bertrand. Forward to Gineppo, tries to poke it back towards Bertrand, cut out by Wilshere. Runs out of pitch and a Southampton throw-in it'll be as they look to double their lead before half-time. Gineppo has that skill about him, doesn't use it that much. I think he's a really talented player, I agree. He's that pace, that turn of pace and that close dribbling he's got. He's very agile, low centre of gravity as well. Really good player for Southampton. And I know it's only his second goal of the season, but he's had a few injury issues. I know Gineppo this season. I think it was, I can't remember who it was against, but I know I've seen him come off injured a few times. I think it was against Wolves actually in the Premier League not too long ago when they lost 2-1. But Southampton couldn't work it down the left-hand side. Bertrand was trying to find the cross, but he's able just been shown out of pitch there, and Bournemouth goal kick it'll be. But it's a great run by Redmond just to run at the defence, slotted it through the gap, made Jack Stacey slip, and it allowed Gineppo to slip inside, find the corner of the goal. Nice goal from Southampton on the South Coast derby at the Vitality Stadium, or usually is called the Dean Court Stadium, but due to sponsorships it's called the Vitality. As Ward-Prowse heads it forward from the goal kick. He's looking for Che Adams, but Carter Vickers picks it up and Begovic clears it away up the pitch, looking for Solanke. It's Bednarek to get there first and helped on by Redmond up towards Armstrong, but Diego Rico meets it with the header. Looks far to Riquelme, back towards Carter Vickers, brought down by Pearson to Rico, out wide to Danjuma. Good play this from Bournemouth as he couldn't quite find Billing down the line and Walker Peters blocked off that avenue. Venno Mixer, how you doing, mate? Wondered where you were. Rico does go inside to Billing in the end, and he's just been clipped there by Ward-Prowse as play does continue as Billing still has the ball, and it would have been a free kick, and then lovely outside of the boot ball to the right back Stacey. Back to Bournemouth's centre back Carter Vickers as they've got it inside their own half here. Everybody like the stream? Yes, everybody like the stream. And subscribe if you haven't already. International break coming up, so a bit of a break from commentaries. I'll tell you the next one's coming up at half time. After the international break, as Walker Peters has won it back for Southampton in the middle of the park. It's been worked to Ward-Prowse, looking over the top towards Walker Peters. Steve Cook will get there first and clear it back off the back of Walker Peters and away for a Bournemouth throw-in. Wow, Barcelona women against Man City women in the week in the Champions League quarter-finals. I didn't know that draw. How rubbish is that though? Like that game, that's quite a big game, Barcelona. This is just a bit off topic, but you know, big game, Barcelona Man City women, and they play it at like 11 o'clock, like 12 o'clock in the day. So why did you not put it like at least after school times? You know what I mean? You get a lot more viewers. Because I'd definitely tune into that, but I can't. Strange that. Solanke looks to run forward. He's been tackled in the end, and Walker Peters can help it down the line, and it'll give chase for Che Adams. It's going to be Carter Vickers to get there first, and he works it back to his goalkeeper. To clear it under pressure, and it's been forced away for a Southampton throw-in. Southampton just starting to grow into the game a bit more. That goal definitely helped, but I think the bad thing for Southampton is really that the half-time whistle's coming up soon. They are starting to get a hold on the game against Bournemouth, but the break could see Bournemouth get a grip themselves and get back in the game. I'm running for my finals now. I've got them all the time now. It's ridiculous. It's got them all the time. Every week, exams everywhere. It's mental. Stacey wins the header on the forward ball by Southampton, but I think Ryan Bertrand was offside anyway, so it was not to matter, or it's Che Adams. It was one of the two. Or was it actually a trip there on Carter Vickers? It actually might have been a foul as the ball was played forward. I think it's been felt to Riquelme. Poor touch, and it allows Bertrand to volley it away down the line towards Redmond, who can't quite get there ahead of Carter Vickers. It falls to Ben Pearson. Vickers lifts it over to Bournemouth. We've got to remember Bournemouth have never been past the quarter-finals. This is their second time in the last 8. So a big piece of history could be made today if they can get back in this game, as it's Wilshere to Stacey. Can they do it before half-time? Played 44 minutes. Stacey can't play it forward. It's been blocked off. But it falls back to Jack Wilshere, who's a 2-time FA Cup winner with Arsenal. Steve Cook. Forward to Diego Rico. First time ball looking for Danjuma down the line, but it's Bednarek to come over and get there and clear. Up towards Che Adams, who brings it down and keeps it away from Rico. Great forward play. Lays it off to Ward-Prowse, who clears up towards Redmond, who also brings it down, but he's out-strengthened by Carter Vickers, who, with some nice footwork, helps it down the line, but the pass isn't because of the footwork. It falls straight to Walker Peters. Ward-Prowse forward to Gineppo. Poor touch. It allows Riquelme to get ahead of him and win the ball back for Bournemouth. Wilshere out to Stacey. I wonder how long's going to be added on. Around about a minute. The ball's been played down the line. Solanke will chase against Vestergaard, who will get there ahead of the striker, but he tackles the Danish centre-back before it goes out of play. He's in the box. Can he find a pullback? Solanke, this would be a great goal for Bournemouth. Takes his time, finds Riquelme, and he's too close to him. They've kind of not give each other enough room, and Vestergaard comes in to tackle and clears away. Good forward play from Solanke to stop the ball going for a goal kick, but they should have done a lot better with the pullback. Steve Cook's been tackled there, and throwing it will be, I think, for Southampton in the end. But it stopped it from going out of play there, and then it kind of took too long with the pullback. Probably wasn't enough options, and then in the end it was just rushed, and it was easy enough for Vestergaard to tackle. Maybe Southampton throw-in. Minute I've added on time, play 35 seconds of it. How do you get one or not, Megan? I'm just wondering. No, well, like Venomix has said, just need to be active. Trust and help out people, you know. Yeah, literally, if you're active in streams, you know, you tell people to like and all that. You active in the chat. As Redmond's been brought away here, he's 1-on-1 with Steve Cook on the edge of the box. He's in the box. He works away from Steve Cook and works a shot. Oh, it's a beautiful goal. It's a real dagger in the heart of Bournemouth fans and players. It's right on the brink of the end of this half. From a simple throw-in, Redmond's been able to break away, work his way past the captain, Steve Cook, on his right foot, and he lifts it past Asmir Begovic into the top left corner. It's a beautiful finish by Redmond, who's having a fantastic game today. It's an assist and a goal for him, and it was a simple throw-in by Bertrand up to Armstrong, who just helped it on with the chest, and it just about missed Diego Rico, and it fell to Redmond, who just picked up the ball, and a Messi-like run, you could say, by the Southampton winger, running at Steve Cook, going on the outside, making him fall to the deck there, Steve Cook, working the space for the shot. It was a tight angle for Redmond to force the ball past the 6'6" giant in the Bournemouth goal, but with a bit of lift on it, right into that top left corner. Absolute beauty of a goal. And despite struggling in the league, Southampton are having a really strong performance here at Bournemouth, and we've started the game once again, and I'm presuming the referee will blow for half-time straight away, and he has, right before half-time. Bournemouth concede again. Bournemouth 0, Southampton 2. It's really something Jonathan Woodgate would not have wanted to see for his Bournemouth side. If they could have got in at 1-0, then it's a different ball game, but a simple throwing inside, the tiniest of flicks by Redmond off his chest, it just deceived Rico, who had just come over to try and press the ball, and that left Redmond all on his own, 1-on-1 with Steve Cook. He had quite a bit to run. You know, it wasn't a short distance. He had to run quite a fair bit, and as he got in the box and sat down Steve Cook, all he needed was the finish, and the finish was what he provided. Great goal, and it's Bournemouth 0, Southampton 2. Right before half-time. How gutting is that for Bournemouth? They've got a lot more to do now. Not taking anything away from Nathan Redmond, though. It was a fantastic goal. Goal and assist for him as well today. What a hit by Redmond, yeah. But yeah, I was cut off by what I was saying about being a mod. All you have to do is be active. Try and get in every stream if you can. Obviously, if you can't, don't worry. I mean, I'm not telling you to come out of it. If you come in every stream, that helps. Active in the chat, talk, you know, put stuff in the chat during the game so I have something to bounce off. Yeah, just telling people to like the stream, subscribe every now and then if we've got a lot of people in. And obviously now we've not got the most people in, so you don't have to. Yeah, just like that. And if you do that for quite a bit, then you'll become mod. Because Venomix has been here for ages, I feel. So yeah, there's not many mods actually who aren't my mates. I think it's only Venomixer who's a mod. Who isn't? I gave mods to two of my mates who don't really watch the streams, and that was from when I used to do streams like 5 years ago, when I used to do watch-alongs of my team. that I support. Obviously, they're not there on the channel anymore, and I don't say who I support because obviously I need to be neutral, and I don't want anyone knowing. But they're only mods because they were my mates, and I thought, well, that's cool. I'll give them mods. So you might become one of 2 mods. So as long as you're just active, then you'll get it for sure. But how gutting is that for Bournemouth right before half time? Technically, for me, they're lucky it's not 3-0 because that first goal that was scored, an own goal from Carter Vickers, in I think about just before the 15th minute. It's very close on Walker Peters. It was a long diagonal ball from Bednarek in behind for Kyle Walker Peters, and I think it was the top of his shoulder that was offside, and it's just a ridiculous offside rule, and they're lucky it isn't 3. The volume is a little bit low. I can't go much lower until it starts going I can't go a bit much higher until it starts going a bit. The sound sounds rubbish, if you know what I mean. Turn it up a little bit. Hold on, sorry about that noise. So yeah, I can do it like that. If you're going to turn yourself up as well, turn your stream up. Yeah, for some reason if my volume goes too high, then it starts making weird noises, and I don't like it. It makes it sound a bit rubbish. You might have to turn your stream up to the full, mate. Just turn myself up. Obviously, who doesn't want to hear my voice at the loudest it can be? But yeah, thanks to everyone who is here. If you are new, please subscribe, like as well. Streams, coming up streams. In terms of international football, I might do a watch along where I don't commentate, I don't do any notes for the game. I just sit here as a football fan and watch the game and talk to you in the chat, and we watch the game together. I might do that. I'm not saying it'll happen, but if it does, make sure you check the Instagram, football_commentaries, where I put updates of what commentaries are coming up next. Check the channels to see if they're scheduled within the next few weeks for any watch-alongs, because they might happen, they might not. If they don't, then the next commentary at the minute is Leeds versus Sheffield United, 3 o'clock on the Saturday. That's on the 3rd of April. So that is in exactly 2 weeks' time. So make sure you're here for that. And then in the week of that, so the 3rd of April is a Saturday. So then either on the 6th or the 7th of April is Champions League. I don't know which one I'm doing yet. Actually, to make my schedule, we're going to choose it now, because I know the dates are out, aren't they, for the quarterfinal? What do we think of the quarterfinal of draw, by the way? Champions League. I think it's great. We need to pick a game now, because I know the fixture times are out and all that. So the next one is Leeds versus Sheffield United, 3 o'clock. When are the games? Right. So we've got Madrid, Liverpool, and Man City, Dortmund on Tuesday. That's a little bit tight for me. Tuesday one. So I'm going to do a Wednesday one. Just give myself more time for the notes I do. And do we do Porto, Chelsea, or Bayern, PSG? I like that you don't always choose the so-called big games, do your commentaries. Yeah, the only reason I do that is because it gets a bit boring when you do the same teams all the time. It just gets a bit boring. You know what I mean? I would like to watch along. Right, I'll do that. I'll do it as more of a test than anything. So just keep your eye out for the channel in the next week or two. I'll pick a game. It might be an England game. It might be, just a big European game. I'm not saying this. I don't know what the games are, but say like Germany, France for some. Like a game like that. So I'll do that as a test to see how they do. So I'll do that. I'll join the next stream. Love that. If you're streaming any Man U game, I will be watching because I'm a Man U fan. Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, if you can watch the games and it's a team you support, then you don't have to join. It's fine. Absolutely fine. No worries. But yeah, I'll do a watch along during the international break just to see how they do, just to get a general just a vibe of how people take to it. Because if it does well, then I can do loads during the international breaks, and I might do them in terms of like Premier League games and Champions League games, so I do my commentaries and watch-alongs, and I'm doing them separately. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll do that. I'll let you know. If you want to follow the Instagram, it is football_commentaries. That's where you'll know where the updates are and what streams are coming up. Put it in the game I'll watch. Love that. Yeah, the people in here are in the chat. What would you rather see? Porto, Chelsea, PSG, Bayern. Let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go study. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to study on a Saturday. I apologise. Enjoy if you can. But yeah, what would you rather see? Porto, Chelsea, the English side, or would you rather see PSG, Bayern? Let me know. Because then I can write that into my scheduled commentaries. Because after the week after the Leeds Sheffield United one, so I have Leeds Sheffield United, Champions League midweek commentary, and then the week after that on the 10th is Liverpool Aston Villa. That's 3 o'clock again on a Saturday. Obviously, there could be changes to those games if anything happens, but I rarely change which ones I pick once I pick them. Porto, Chelsea. Okay. Porto, Chelsea. Yeah, right, we'll do that one. Porto versus Chelsea. 8 p.m. What date is that on? That is on the 7th of the 4th, 2021. There. Oh, hold on, let's shut this door a second. God. Yeah, I think with my computer, I think I can also get the Bayern PSG game onto watch in the background as well. But I'll do Chelsea at Porto because, that's what being said. But yeah, I'll definitely do a watch along in the international break just to see how it does. So let's just get ready for the second half anyway. Can Bournemouth pull it back, by the way? Do they have it in them to try and get back in this game? Or will the game just fade away against the Premier League opposition? We'll have to see. So Porto. What about the Porto team? Obviously I know a few of the players because I watched them against Juventus. Oh God, let's not get the highlights on. I'll watch the game. 31 shots they faced against Juventus. Oh my God. Marchesin in goal. Manafá, Mbemba, Newcastle defender. Pepe, Sanusi, Corona, Oliveira, Uribe, Otavio, Taremi, Marega, Leite, Laum, Diaz, Grujic, Felipe Anderson, West Ham, Tony Martinez, Ivan Ilason, Nanu, Sarr on loan from Chelsea, Vieira, Diogo Costa, Francisco Conchiao. Decent players for Porto, so I'm looking forward to that one. See if Chelsea can do the English teams proud. But I think for the Bayern PSG game, which I will be interested to watch, I think I'll be able to get it on as I commentate. Obviously, I'll be watching the Chelsea Porto game mainly, but if I ever want to look over just to see what's going on in that game, then it's there, so I can give you match updates instead of having to go on Google and look. It's there, and I can literally tell you what's going on. I can tell you the goals. Instead of going Lewandowski scored, I can go Lewandowski volleyed it from 25 yards out, if you know what I mean. So I can do that. What are the international games coming up? Because the World Cup qualifiers, isn't it? Let's have a look. I'll probably do a midweek one. So we could do like Belgium, Wales, for example. Welsh, might get a few people in for that. Who did Scotland play? They played Thursday against Austria, so I might do a Scotland one. Because England do play San Marino on Thursday, so could do like a double watch along. We'll have to see. I'll figure it out. and I'll get that out and see if it does well, the watch-alongs, and I'll do more of them. If they don't do that well, then I might not do as... I might still do them, but not as often as what I might if they do well, if you know what I mean. But the second half is about to get underway in about a minute or two time, just waiting for the players to get back out on the pitch. See if we can get a bit of a dramatic ending to this game with Bournemouth 2-0 down to Southampton. This is the result of the last game to play between these two sides. It did end 2-0. Gineppo and Redmond didn't score that day. It was in fact Danny Ings and Che Adams. Sorry. This is as well only the this is the third FA Cup fixture between the two sides. The first one was in 1953. The first one was 1-1 at Southampton, and then they played 4 days later, and Bournemouth won 3-1 and went to the next round of the Cup. Gibraltar, Norway, probably 6-0 Norway. It actually will be. It actually will be. And by the way, just to clear up, Europa. I think I was gonna do Europa League commentary right for the quarter-final, but the draw was the team. It's just there's not many great games really. Do you know what I mean? Say if Rangers got through and it was Rangers Arsenal, then I'd be like, yeah, I'll do that one, or Rangers United, or but it's just like Arsenal Slavia Prague. I don't want to commentate on a team that have got racists involved in their starting 11. If you saw that, Glenn Kamara of Rangers was racially abused on the pitch at the end of the game between Rangers and Slavia Prague. You can literally see the video, and you can literally see Glenn Kamara react in a quite aggressive way, because obviously he just got racially abused in his face, which is just absolutely disgusting. So I would never even go near Slavia Prague. Villarreal, Zagreb, no one would be interested. Man United, Granada, they should really be being Granada United, if we're being honest. Granada currently 9th in La Liga. Do you know what I mean? So I was going to do a Europa. I could still do Europa League semi-final if there's a good semi-final, but because if it's imagine a United Arsenal semi-final. Whoa. We're about to get back on the way for the game, so I need to shut up, stop thinking about commentaries in the future, and just concentrate on the one now we've got. With Bournemouth will kick off kicking left to right, Southampton right to left. Solanke will kick off. Thoughts on Man United? Decent team. Have not used their money well in the last 5 years on signings, but under Solskjaer you won't win anything other than maybe a Europa League and maybe an FA Cup. You'll never win a Premier League under him. And yeah, I think you're a decent team. You've got to be decent to be second in the Premier League, haven't you? As we do kick off here with Bournemouth in possession with Ben Pearson forward and straight out of play for Southampton, throwing on the halfway line on their right hand side. I need to get the timer back underway. Walker-Peters throws it to Ward-Prowse, volleys it up the pitch up towards Che Adams, who can't quite bring it down. Oh yes, he can. Absolutely fantastic forward play, and he falls to the ground, and it's going to be a goal kick as he thought it was fouled by Steve Cook there. Che Adams brought it down really well on that right hand side. I thought he'd miscontrolled it, but he kept it in the pitch and went round Steve Cook in the end, and no foul in that at all. Goal kick it is, and they've looked to play it forward straight away. Bournemouth, it's been headed away by Vestergaard straight to Pearson, and it finds Riquelme as Bertrand gets the ball caught under his foot, but he's been saved there by Yannick Vestergaard, who tackled Riquelme and brought it forward for Southampton, and has to be forced to go backwards to keep possession with Ryan Bertrand as well. Good play that from Vestergaard. Why are we on 3 minutes? I do apologise. Let me change that. Hold on, let's stop. Sorry. That's quite annoying. There we go. Don't know why it was on like 3 minutes there. Rico throws it inside to Billing. His touch is poor and it falls straight to Armstrong, who goes inside toward Prowse in the Bournemouth half. Southampton can attack and look for a third to maybe kill off the game straight away, as it's already a bit of a mountain to climb for Bournemouth. Just wanted to say hi, I'm watching this game. I love that. Love to see you coming in, even if it's not the team you support, as well. If you come into the streams, that just helps out massively. So thanks for coming in, Gold Puffin. been a decent game. The first half was really good. Riquelme wins it for Bournemouth. Found Solanke, who couldn't find the on-running Jack Stacey, but Bournemouth have got the ball back with a throw in as Southampton couldn't keep it in possession. Stacey to Riquelme. Tackle from behind by Redmond. It's been seen as a foul by Martin Atkinson. It's a good free kick win there by Riquelme because this is a great chance for Bournemouth to put the ball in the box. Was it a foul? It probably was. Just caught him from behind there. As they played it quickly, so no ball into the box. It's control possession instead for Bournemouth as it's Ben Pearson on the right hand side. Billing back to goal, but he's allowed to turn on the halfway line and play it across to Steve Cook. Rico. Danjuma forward to Rico as there's an attack building here on the left. Back to Danjuma. Heavy touch forward to get into the space, and he works a cross in and a diving header away by Bertrand. It falls to Wilshere, who slides in and gets it to Billing nicely. Lays it back into Wilshere, who's just on the edge of the box, and it's hit the side netting. Oh, I thought he'd gone in there. Oh, I thought he'd gone in. Wilshere with a great slide challenge as the ball came down from floating in the air. Got it to Billing, who laid it back off to Wilshere, and he shifted it onto his left foot. And it was curling in towards that near post. It rippled the side netting and just went wide. Really unlucky. I don't think I can watch it and have your commentary on instead. Sure, because of the delay. Well, if you pause, I don't know if you'd want to do that. If you pause the game you're watching and wait for me to catch up, then you could do that. So if like for example, if my time hits the 5th minute, just make sure you press play on your game when it hits the 50th minute. If you don't want to do that, then that's fine. But that's just an idea. But yeah, it's the delay is really annoying. It really is. Wish I could do something about it, but oh well. But Bournemouth have got it back from the Southampton goal kick. Couldn't quite keep possession, Ralph Hasenhüttl's men, as they've played 8 games in the FA Cup under Hasenhüttl, and they've won 4 of them. 2 draws as well. Obviously, there's no draws in this year's FA Cup. Obviously, previously there was. You could have replays. Solanke pushes Bednarek in the back on the halfway line and wins a foul there for his team. Bednarek, Polish centre back. The Rangers one you did, so maybe do the Scotland. So I probably will. To be fair, I probably will do a watch along on that Scotland game, just to see if it does well. I mean, again, like I said, it won't be a commentary, so where I won't do all these notes where I know all the facts and stats about the players. It will just be me watching it as a football fan, talking to football fans as well, and we'll have a chat. But that does mean the chat needs to get involved and speak. That's just the one thing it needs to do, because obviously with commentary it can kind of get away with no one putting anything in the chat because people are here to listen to the game. So just have to see. Like I said, I'll try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least I can say I tried. So we'll just see. But that'll be in about a week or so's time. So yeah. Oh right, okay. Right, no, that's fine. That's fine, mate. Thanks for joining anyway. Bournemouth goal kick. We've got as they look for Gineppo in behind there, Southampton. Couldn't quite find him. But yeah, that's fine, mate. So yeah, I'll probably do the Scotland game, do a watch along, see what happens. It'd be exciting. I used to do them all the time, but it's up until the start of last season where I thought, let's actually start doing commentaries and see what it's like, and I enjoy it. So yeah, we'll do that. Because like I said, if it works, then I'll do more of them, and it gets more content on the channel. So I'll do like 2 commentaries a week and maybe 2 watch-alongs a week, because obviously watch-alongs are very easy to do because you don't have to prepare for them. You can't just watch them. So more content, more viewers, subscribers, it'll grow the channel. So I'm hoping it works because it'll be great for me. But we'll just see. We'll see. It's Ben Pearson on the ball for Bournemouth. Lifts it forward to Solanke. He's got a bit of room here in between the gap of midfield and defence for Southampton. Plays it along to Riquelme on the right-hand side. Dinks a cross in. Headed away by Walker-Peters and volleyed by Vestergaard. Up towards Diego Rico, the Spanish left-back, who helps it forward. But it's Armstrong's outstretched leg who gets it for them. And Diallo, it falls to for Southampton. He's being dispossessed, and he finds Wilshere. Great ball in behind for Danjuma, who pulls it across. It comes off Vestergaard last. Proud slips, cleared away by Walker-Peters. It falls over to Gineppo. Volleys it always far with Ben Pearson, who goes forward to Billing. Out wide right to Stacey, who works the cross into the box, and another diving header away for a corner by Walker-Peters as Bournemouth are pressing and pushing for this goal. They want an early goal, and obviously rightly so. They need to get back in the game as soon as they can. It's just quite a lot of panic in between the Southampton defence in the last couple minutes. That's a great ball by Stacey, by the way. Right in the gap, needs someone to attack it, but they've won a corner from it. Danjuma crosses it, goes over to Ben Pearson. He couldn't quite find Billing at the far post, but he's kept it alive. Ben Pearson back to the halfway line to Stacey. Over to Pearson on the far left. Begovic clears far and right, playing longies with Forster right into the goalkeeper. I don't even know who he's aiming for there, Begovic, to be honest. I know he was aiming for Solanke, but he was nowhere near the striker. It went straight over to the goalkeeper, because you got to remember it's a small pitch, so it's not hard to get it from goalkeeper to goalkeeper. It comes off Che Adams' back as he gets it from the forward ball, and it lays back to him off Armstrong, and he drills it into that bottom left corner, and that surely sees Southampton seal their place into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. It's just simple football from Southampton. Carter Vickers is having a shocker today, the American centre-back. It's just easy goals for Southampton. It's not like Bournemouth have done that bad attacking-wise, but defensively they've been awful. Ball was just lifted forward again, just clipped down in behind by Bednarek towards Che Adams. Like I said, it just came off, I think, his back off Armstrong, who looks offside. It's going to be disallowed, because I think it came off Che Adams into Armstrong, who then laid it back into Che Adams on the edge of the box, who's got back-to-back goals at the Vitality Stadium. Drilled it past Begovic. If that came off Adams, if it did come off the back of his head or off his back last into Armstrong, then that's offside. It's just who it came off last. It came off Che Adams, didn't it? Let's have a look. I think it did. Good hold-up play from Adams to keep the ball down in towards where he is. I think that's offside, isn't it? It looks like Bournemouth are going to get away with a second goal to be disallowed here. Lifted in towards Che Adams, up against Carter Vickers, way too easily. Made a mess of it, Carter Vickers. Che Adams was able to just somehow use his body to get it to Armstrong. Flicked off his right foot, back into the path of Che Adams, who did a fantastic striker's finish past Begovic, but it might not stand there. Just figure out here who it came off last. Because if it came off Che Adams, then it's offside. If it came off Carter Vickers, then obviously it's not. For me, that looks like it came off Che Adams. It looks like this is going to be disallowed again. 2 disallowed goals for Southampton. Sorry, I've just got to try and do this really quickly. Sorry. That goal has been disallowed. Che Adams with the last touch. So it's still 2-0, still a chance for Bournemouth. I've just got to sort this out really quickly. They're making a change though. I just need to try and sort something. I need to try and figure something out here. Right, we're back. It's okay. So disallowed goal, and there has been a change. Riquelme, who's come off, the Spanish winger Rodrigo Riquelme, has been replaced here by Jadon Anthony, the number 32 striker. 6'32", 21 years of age. Can he make a difference for Bournemouth as Solanke's cross has just been overhit there, and a goal kick it'll be for Southampton, who've scored 4 goals today. Only 2 of them have stood, but they still do seem in cruise control of the game. Solanke on the left got the cross in too deep, looking for Jadon Anthony on that far post, but too much on it. As at least they're going for it, Bournemouth. Fraser Forster with the goal kick up towards Che Adams. Can't win the header on Steve Cook, but it falls to Ward-Prowse, who heads it up towards Redmond, but Carter Vickers wins the header. It's full straight to Diallo, the Southampton midfielder, who looks forward for Armstrong down the right-hand side. It's found the Scotsman, and he works across on the byline. It's been deflected off Rico, but it falls to Redmond as he can't quite take control of the ball. But Billings' cross is poor, and it comes to Ward-Prowse, who strikes, but it's blocked. Back forward by Vestergaard, away by Stacey, up towards, I think, Jayden Anthony, but he was fouled there. I think there's another change for Bournemouth I've missed. I think Surridge came on. Yeah, Surridge also came on. Sam Surridge, another striker, and he replaced the Hull midfielder Ben Pearson. So 2 strikers on for Bournemouth, Jayden Anthony and Sam Surridge. So Solanke, Surridge and Anthony all on. Armstrong commits another foul there, and Diego Rico on the left-hand side. It's weird seeing the game at nearly an hour mark, and it's only 1:30. This 12:15 kickoff is really random. Begovic has it to Jack Stacey, the right back. Can Bournemouth at least get back in it? Oh, not with that pass. Straight to Ward-Prowse in the box to Redmond. Lays it off towards Che Adams. Actually, falls to Armstrong off the post. Redmond on the rebound. Slots it into the bottom right corner. And there's the third. And I think this will stand. I said, can Bournemouth get back in it? As soon as I said it, Jack Stacey gave the ball right to Ward-Prowse. I'm not sure what he was thinking there, the right back. Gave it to Ward-Prowse, who found Nathan Redmond, laid it off. I thought he was going to look for Che Adams, but instead it fell right the way through to Armstrong, who got onto it. Good pressing there from Ward-Prowse to Redmond, laid it off. I thought he was looking for Che Adams, who was looking like he was going to try and rifle it with his right foot, but instead it fell over to Armstrong, who, on his left foot, on the edge of the box, had a shot off the post, and it fell right kindly to Nathan Redmond, who could just slot it into that bottom right corner again. He gets his second of the day alongside his assist. He's on fire today, Nathan Redmond. As I said it before, but this time the goal does stand. It is now Southampton surely making their way through to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Absolutely ridiculous. 5 goals for Southampton today. Only 3 of them standing. Absolutely crazy. Deserved though from Redmond. 2 goals and an assist now today. As Vestergaard wins it back for Southampton off Solanke. It's now Diallo. Well, I was thinking he was laying it off for Che Adams, but better thinking with Armstrong coming in from the right, hitting it with his left. Unfortunate for the Scotsman, as he did score in the last round against Wolves. Armstrong, he hit the post, but I think it was kind of rewarding Southampton for all the goals he had scored, and all of them that were disallowed because it went right to Redmond unmarked, who could just play it into pretty much an empty right-hand side goal. As they're playing it in again here, Gineppo to Adams, lays it off to Armstrong, who got a shot away. It was a wild strike as he's looking to get on the score sheet after just hitting the post, but it went wild and wide for Southampton as they look for a 4th. There's Redmond laying it off for Armstrong. Off the post, right to Redmond, unmarked. Easy goal for him. One of the easiest goals he will score, Nathan Redmond, for Southampton. It's actually interesting, he loves a game against Bournemouth. Yet, before today's game, in 12 appearances, he hasn't scored against Bournemouth, but he had assisted 5 times. But now he's got 6 assists against Bournemouth in 13, alongside 2 goals. He loves a game against Bournemouth. Nathan Redmond, he's usually the provider, and he has been today again, but he's also added the goals into this fixture, and that's what's seeing Southampton through to the next round. Like I said, Bournemouth attacking, they've lacked that spark and that cutting edge, but they've created a few chances, but defensively that's where they've really failed themselves today. Is forced to Solanke on the left-hand side, Danjuma. I'm sure many Premier League clubs will be looking at this Arnaut Danjuma, because he's been unbelievable today when he's got on the ball, really talented. I'm sure he won't want to be in the Championship for too long. Begovic clears up towards Jayden Anthony. He just heads it up into the sky where Jack Wilshere tries to bring it down, but it falls to Jack Stacey, who heads it to Billing, who can't take under control, and it falls to Ward-Prowse. It's now Armstrong. Lifted ball in behind for Che Adams on the left. He brings it down with the chest on the left-hand side. Can't quite cut onto his right foot. Holds it up though and lays it into Gineppo. Looks to take on Carter Vickers. Can't quite do so. Tackled by the American, but it falls for a corner for Southampton. Should I do AFC Bournemouth versus Southampton? Or should I just leave it as Bournemouth versus Southampton? think I'll just leave it as Bournemouth. Corner for Southampton. They've got Bednarek and Vestergaard up for it. Vestergaard, who's already scored for 3 goals this season. Plays it short to Redmond, back to Bertrand, the original taker. Lifts it in towards Vestergaard at the far post. Can't head it towards goal, and Surridge can clear away for Bournemouth. As it loops in the air, Armstrong looks to deal with it for Southampton, but it's won by the header of Wilshere. And as he's gone for the header, I think he's just clashed heads there with Gineppo. And Wilshere's already back on his feet. So I don't think he was the one who was hurt by it the most. It was Gineppo. Wilshere went for the header and he won the header. But Gineppo's gone for it as well, and he's just collided with each other. Jack Wilshere's absolutely fine. He was straight back on his feet, but it was just Gineppo who just came out worse from it. Didn't look too serious, but Gineppo has come out quite hurt from that. Even though it was him going in aggressively for the header, it was just Wilshere. Wilshere was favourite to win the header, but then Gineppo's coming in late, trying to help his team out, and he just actually ended up hurting himself in the process. I think he'll be okay, Gineppo. Just kind of just hurt himself there, really, because Wilshere was looking like he was going to head the ball on, and then out of nowhere, Gineppo comes in wanting to win the header as well. You know, doing his work for the team. Can't talk against that. But he has ended up injuring himself. But it's weird that, because you'd think it'd be Wilshere the one who got hurt, but he was straight back on his feet. But Moussa Gineppo is one of 3 goal scorers today. We have had an own goal scored by Carter Vickers. That would have made it 1-0, but that was disallowed within 15 minutes. And then about 20 minutes later, that's when Gineppo scored his goal. And then right before half time, the last kick of the half, Redmond got in behind for Southampton, scored to make it 2. And then Che Adams looked to have made it 3, but he was offside. Well, Armstrong was offside as he played the ball towards him as they looked to complete the 1-2, so that was disallowed. And then finally to make it 3-0 just before Nathan Redmond scored from a post shot by Armstrong. So Gineppo's back on his feet. He's just on the sidelines as he's waiting to get the confirmation to come back on the pitch as a free kick's being given to Southampton as Bournemouth looked to get forward, but Sam Surridge had been caught offside. Really disappointed from Bournemouth because you expected better defensively. But to be fair, in the last 2 games between the 2 teams, not just, this isn't just Bournemouth, but between the 2 teams they've played, they scored 8 goals, 3-0 against Swansea in the week, and then 3-2 against Barnsley at home again. This is their 3rd game in a row at home. They lost 3-2 to Barnsley, so a lot of goals are involved recently in Bournemouth games, but unfortunately today for them, none of them have gone their way. Should have been 5 goals in this game really, but just offside VAR calls are the difference between 5-0 to Southampton and 3-0. Bournemouth have got a throw-in. Down the line towards Surridge, who controls it, but it falls straight to Armstrong. Clips it in towards Nathan Redmond, but it deflects towards Ward-Prowse, but doesn't get there ahead of Rico. It's Surridge tackled strongly there, and it falls to Gineppo in the end, who's been bundled to the ground by Jadon Anthony on the halfway line, and a free kick it'll be for Southampton. As it looks like Bednarek's actually injured himself when he won the ball back from Surridge. It was a good challenge from the centre-back who got his foot in there, and just as Surridge is looking to run forward, his knee's gone straight into the back of Bednarek's leg. That will be a nasty one for the Polish centre-back. Totally accidental. But he's put his foot in there strong, and the foot that's been out there to win the ball back has just been knocked from behind, and you will be okay. But Bednarek, he's started every game for Southampton this season in all competitions. Jan Bednarek. I think he's only failed to complete the full 90 minutes in 1 Premier League game. Remember Bednarek as well, he's only the age of 24. You know, so playing every single game, it's gonna have an effect at some point, but he's still going. So another Bournemouth change is going to look to happen. I wonder if this one will make a difference. It's gone out for a throw-in, so they will allow for the substitution to now be made. Is that Kilkenny? It looks like Diego Rico is coming off the left back, and it's actually centre back Chris Mepham who's coming on. So I'm presuming it's going to be a back three with wing backs to try and get some more plays forward. They've not got long left to try and make up this 3-goal deficit, as it looks like they're going to fail once again to get to a semi-final. So with their second time in a quarter-final. Stacey throws it into Anthony, back to Stacey, inside to Anthony, lays it off to Billing, gets past Gineppo, has to be forced back to Steve Cook. Who do you think's going to win the cup? Well, I think probably City or United, isn't it? The favourites. Don't know who's going to win it, but probably one of them two, isn't it? Carter Vickers has it for Bournemouth. Curls it down the right-hand side, looking for Sam Sturridge, who doesn't get there ahead of Vestergaard, who will pick up the ball, the Danish centre-back, and play back to Fraser Forster. Takes his time and then helps it back forward. Well, no one there for Southampton as Redmond was coming back from an offside position. Steve Cook over to Mepham. So it looks like Arnaut Danjuma, the left winger, is going to have to be used as sort of a left wing back for Bournemouth. And Jack Stacey is a right wing back with Cook, Carter Vickers and Mepham as the three centre halves. As Carter Vickers clips it up the pitch looking for Surridge, caught out by Vestergaard. It's now Ward-Prowse to Bertrand. Vestergaard inside to Ward-Prowse. First time ball looking out wide for Gineppo, cut out by Stacey, but falls straight to Che Adams, who hooks it over his head for Gineppo and gets the return. And here's the Scotsman. Che Adams looks to thread it through towards Redmond in behind, but it's been cut out. And Bournemouth have possession again with Danjuma forward to Solanke. Holds it up and is tackled, and it comes off the striker last. And a throw in it'll be for Southampton. Taken quickly. It's now with Diallo. Challenge from behind by Wilshere, and a free kick it'll be for Southampton just on the halfway line. This is the 32nd meeting between the two sides. 8 Bournemouth wins, 14 Southampton wins. They're going to look to make that 15 if they can. Southampton today with another away win. The one they got at the end of last season against Bournemouth, which really pretty much got them relegated, I'd say. There's a ball from Armstrong's found Kyle Walker-Peters in behind, pulls it back to James Ward-Prowse, it deflects up towards Adams and can be collected by Begovic in the end. A near fourth there for Southampton. There's a great find there from Armstrong in behind where Ward-Prowse and Walker-Peters made a run. Ward-Prowse left it for Walker-Peters, who then found him with a pullback, left-footed strike on the volley, blocked by Mepham, and he headed it down into the ground where it was lifted into the arms of Begovic in the end. As they've won the ball back here, Southampton, by a poor clearance from Cook. Now Armstrong on the right, finds Redmond, who's on for the hat-trick. Will he find another assist maybe as he pulls it back? Stopped by Steve Cook, and a throw, and it'll be for Southampton right in that corner flag. Taking their time here, Walker-Peters to take that throw in. Like I said, only 30 miles separate these two teams, so it wouldn't have been the longest away trips. As it's a goal kick for Bournemouth as Walker-Peters threw it towards Redmond, but he couldn't keep it in play because he was just so close to that corner flag. Like I said, next commentary coming up is Leeds versus Sheffield United on the 3rd of April, and then from now till then, in between them, we will have a couple of watch-alongs during the international break, so make sure you're here for them. Goal kick by Begovic, met by Ward-Prowse as he topples over his teammate to try and win the ball, and he heads out for a throw-in in the end for Bournemouth. Wilshere back to Carter Vickers. Works it to Jack Stacey, signed from Luton 2 years ago, as he lifts the ball and kills it in behind. Can't quite find Surridge, but it falls to Billing, the Vestergaard header, as he's been brought down on the edge of the box, but the referee sees nothing wrong with it, and Southampton can bring it away with Armstrong tackled and just about forced to Ward-Prowse as they keep the ball, and Vestergaard helps it to Armstrong again as he's going to try a second time on the counter-attack. Sprints away from Wilshere, he's got Gineppo to his left and he will bring him into play, but the pass is just too short and Stacey gets there ahead of him and clears out for a throw-in for Southampton as they can keep the attack alive with the throw-in. Well, I really enjoyed this commentary, a bit different, Bournemouth, Southampton, not the most standout game of the FA Cup weekend, you could say. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a good game. We've had 5 goals, 2 of them disallowed, all for Southampton. It's Ward-Prowse to Armstrong as they're going to look for a fourth. Tried to get it through Armstrong, but it deflected back towards him, and he decided to take it upon himself to take a hit at goal. He had a lot of power in behind that left foot, but Begovic was equal to it. As he nearly got a goal before, didn't he? Armstrong, he hit the post, but Redmond diverted the rebound off the post. But he decided he wants a goal, and from around 22 yards out, he found a bit of room as his pass forward was deflected back to him, so he thought a strike was the next best option. And just not quite in the corner, an easy save for Begovic in the end, but a corner it will be for Southampton to try and make it 4 against their rivals. A bit of bragging rights on the south coast. Ward-Prowse crosses it in, and it's headed away by Billing at the near post. As far as Kyle Walker-Peters, back to Ward-Prowse, the corner kick taker. Will he work it back in the box? He won't go inside to Armstrong. Over to Diallo, who's dropping further back for the ball. Left-footed pass into Redmond on the far left. Inside to Diallo. Forward to Vestergaard. 1-2 back to Diallo. The Frenchman gets beyond Jadon Anthony. He's got Gineppo on the left, who will use him. Moves to Gineppo, back inside towards Nathan Redmond. It's a bit of controlled possession now for Southampton. They've got the goal advantage to dictate the play. It's Vestergaard, though, he's caught lacking on the ball, but then he's won it back, but that's only because he's pulled back. Billing, really poor. He had a lot of time there, Vestergaard, to just release it, but he kept hold of it, and Billing nicked it off the centre-back, and the only way to stop Billing from getting further forward was just holding him pretty much, and on the halfway line a free kick is given to Bournemouth as they've already took it, and Vestergaard is also booked, by the way, so that's 2 Southampton centre-backs on yellows, so we could maybe see a sending off as Danjuma still with the ball. Billing, back to Danjuma. They need to try and work it in the box if they can. They've had to go all the way back to Mepham now. Cook on the halfway line. Carter Vickers. Football shirt collector, hi, how you doing, mate? Hope you're alright. Stacey tries to go inside to George Jadon Anthony, easily intercepted. Up towards Redmond. Bertram back to Diallo. His pass is being intercepted by, I think that's Surridge. It falls to Jadon Anthony, who's been caught heavily there by Gineppo on the halfway line. And a free kick's been won there for Bournemouth. Could they maybe at least get a goal to try and cause a bit of change in the game? A bit of late drama. Great ball by Wilshere, though. Out wide left to Danjuma. Inside towards Solanke. Cut out by Bednarek. Forced to Armstrong as they're going to break away here, Southampton. Armstrong getting beyond Billing and past Wilshere. He's going all on his own, on the edge of the box, onto his left foot. Falls to the ground, but it falls to Nathan Redmond. Oh, it's just wide of the post. How close can you get? I thought Nathan Redmond has just wrote himself into a FA Cup hat-trick, but just past the post. Armstrong with a great run. It looks like he was going to go all the way, and he just took too of a heavy touch. And as he was looking to try and shoot, he just slipped, and the ball had fell over to Redmond in the end in the box, and he opened up the body to get it into that far corner. It's a clean strike, and it's just past the post. So close. Great run from Armstrong, a really great strike as well from Nathan Redmond, but no goal, unfortunately. But this is what Southampton needed, a break from the Premier League, and they're going to get another one as well through the international break, and hopefully they'll come back for their own sake stronger, and they can take these kind of performances into the Premier League. As, like I said at the start of the game, they've only won 1 of their last 13 Premier League games, 4 points in those 13 games. Cook heads it forward. So this is a great performance they can put in, because you've got to remember, although Bournemouth are a championship team, they were Premier League status last year, so they're not like a bad championship team. They're one of the best ones in there, so it's a great win. Surridge takes a quick throw in to Solanke. Gets past Ward-Prowse and hits it off Kyle Walker-Peters for a throw-in. Solanke will leave the throw-in for Huber. Oh, we're going to get a double change for Southampton. 2 central defenders coming on. Jack Stevens, who did play in Southampton's recent 5-2 loss in central midfield, so that's where he could be used. So Bednarek's coming off. I think it's only the second time in all competitions this season where he's not completing the full 90 minutes. He's played all of Southampton's now 34 games in all competitions, only failing to complete 2 90 minutes, and it's actually going to be a full change at the centre-back positions. So Vestergaard and Bednarek being replaced by Mohamed Salisu and Jack Stevens. Very rarely you see both centre backs being changed within a game, but they've got the advantage to make changes like that. Southampton. So Vestergaard and Bednarek off, Salisu and Jack Stevens on as they look to see out the last 13 minutes plus added on time of this game. Oh, and also within that, Bournemouth have made a change. Philip Billing coming off, and coming on is Gavin Kilkenny. He's a young Irish central midfielder as they look to get him behind here. Danjuma strikes, good strong save by Forster as he had to get low to his right hand side to stop that shot, but they're going to still come at them here, Bournemouth, with Danjuma tackled by Ward-Prowse and helped on towards Redmond, who clears up towards Adams, cut out, and it goes up towards Surridge. It deflects over to Solanke on the edge, can't take it into control, and Salisu's forced it back to Forster, who can clear down the left hand side of Southampton. Up to Carter Vickers, who heads it back forward to Jack Stacey, number 17 for Bournemouth. Can he work across? He can do so. He stands it up, headed away by Walker Peters to the edge of the box, where Kilkenny heads it up in the air and tries to meet it once more. Header won by Bertrand, as far as Jack Stacey, right to Redmond, who can now break away now with a pass forward by Armstrong, back to Redmond, back to goal, so goes back to Walker Peters. Once more to Stevens, and on the edge of the 18-yard box is Salisu. Good save though that from Forster. Had to get down low to his right to stop that Danjuma shot as he got him behind. Like I said, in this competition, Forster have played 3 games, and in all of the rounds Southampton have played this season, they've not conceded a goal yet. They've got all clean sheets, and they're going to try and do that again to put them good stead for the semi-final as they look to break away here with Armstrong. Bournemouth again outnumbered in midfield. Armstrong looks to point back to Adams, but it's a vital interception in the end by the captain Cook to only concede the corner and not another goal. But Forster now coming up to the age of 33. It was his birthday on the 17th of March on the Wednesday. And as Danjuma broke free, a bit like Gineppo in the first half for his goal, where he opened up the body into the far right corner. He looked to do the same, Danjuma, but he was just too close to Forster. But with his big 6'7" frame, he had to get down low, and he did it well to get down low as quick as he did to avoid conceding the first goal in the FA Cup this season for Southampton, as an outswinging cross has been put in by Ward-Prowse, headed away by Solanke to the edge to Diallo. Does he fancy a shot? Yes, he does, and it's wide of the post. Probably a lot further wide than I thought. From Ibrahima Diallo. Collected it on the edge of the box. Around 25 yards out. Yeah, quite far wide actually by the central midfielder. Not really known for his goal scoring. Diallo. Definitely not scored yet this season. And didn't score any goals in Ligue 1, where he was before joining Southampton in the summer. But it's gutting for Jonathan Woodgate, the caretaker manager at Bournemouth. He actually has got a bit of Wembley experience and actually scored a winner for Tottenham, the last trophy they won, the last major trophy they won when they beat Chelsea in the League Cup. Jonathan Woodgate, in extra time, bit of a scrappy goal, a header a few yards out, won the game for Tottenham, 2-1 against Chelsea for Tottenham. So he's got a bit of experience in the FA Cup, but I don't think they'll be going to the Wembley anytime soon, because it looks like it's going to end 3-0, and it was nearly made 4 there as Adams was being looked to get in behind there, but Steve Cook, with some more good defending for Bournemouth, avoided the 4th. Jack Stacey, the right back, curled down the line straight to Ward-Prowse. Now Diallo, who gets beyond Kilkenny and commits the foul, the young midfielder who replaced Philip Billing. Gavin Kilkenny not letting Diallo get away from him, and doing that he's conceded the foul. But yeah, Kilkenny, always 4th appearance in all competitions for Bournemouth this season. Played 90 minutes against Oldham for Bournemouth in the 3rd round, which they won 4-1 at home. And only 1 league appearance, that was a couple minutes against Barnsley, but not in that 3-2 defeat they picked up last Saturday, but in the 4-0 win they got away from home against Barnsley earlier on in the season. So a bit of good experience for the youngster playing Premier League opposition for the first time. Stacey has it, a long ball up towards Solanke, nods it down as far as Jack Stevens of Southampton, who can clear it to Diallo. Now finds Ward-Prowse, nicely into Ward-Prowse. 1-2 of Redmond, it's now Gineppo. Goes back to Bertrand. Redmond, Gineppo. Like I said, for Bournemouth, it's their 2nd quarter-final. Their only other one was back in the 1956-1957 season, where they were beaten at home 2-1 by Manchester United that day. And Their second quarter-final is going to end in defeat as well, at home, but to Southampton this time. It's expected a bit better from Bournemouth. The first half was really open, and you could say Bournemouth were unlucky to go in at 2-0 down, but this second half has just not been good enough at all, and it's going to have to just be solely focused now on trying to get back in the Premier League, in the Championship, through the playoffs, as they do currently sit 7th. Mepham's going to pick it up here for Bournemouth. Chris Mepham clears it up towards Jadon Anthony, but it's been cut out by Mohamed Salisu. Good defending by the young central defender, and he works it to Moussa Gineppo, scorer of the first. Ward-Prowse looks for a diagonal switch up towards Armstrong. Is he asking too much of the Scotsman? Yes, he is. He's going to go straight out for a goal kick there for Asmir Begovic to take. Like I said at the start of the game, Begovic couldn't quite put his magic on the game, as he has scored against Southampton before in a 1-1 draw for Stoke back in the 2013-14 season. He scored inside his own half, beating Artur Boruc, former Bournemouth keeper, in the Southampton goal that day. But obviously take away the disallowed goals, it would have been 5-0, and that's just quite a statement victory. And Arsenal have got a lot of positives to take, as they've already got the ball back from the Asmir Begovic goal kick. They've got it back here with Steve Cook intercepting a Kyle Walker-Peters pass, but then Diallo intercepts the Cook pass, and Diallo looks to stride forward and be cynically brought down here by Jack Wilshere on the right-hand side, and a free kick's going to be given for Southampton to take as we're coming up to the closing stages of the game. Wilshere picking up the yellow card. So no trip for Wembley for Bournemouth, as there's going to be a 4th trophy to add to their collection. The last trophy they won was actually the Championship back in 2014-15 season under Eddie Howe. I think we're getting another Southampton change, maybe. I think we are. I think Gineppo's coming off, and he is one of the goal scorers. He made it 1-0. Fantastic ball through by Redmond. Nice finish by Gineppo, as he will be coming off. It's going to be replaced by Nathan Tella, who's making his second FA Cup appearance of the season. He made his first one in the last round against Wolves. He only came on about in the 87th minute, and in that time he assisted Armstrong for the goal to seal the victory against Wolves in that game. So could he maybe get another late assist in today's game, Nathan Tella? We'll just have to see. But he's becoming a bit more of a regular. In the last 6 Premier League games, he has featured at least in some kind of way. He's got some minutes, as they look to try and keep another clean sheet here, as Surridge for Bournemouth can't quite pull it back to Leon running Jadon Anthony, and Southampton have it back with Bertrand forward to Nathan Tella, who's been brought down by Jack Stacey, and a free kick it'll be for Southampton inside their own half, as they look to really just see down the clock at this point. But to be fair, in terms of Hasenhüttl as well, wanting to win a trophy, he's only ever won one as a manager, and that was the second tier of the German divisions with Ingolstadt 04 back in the 2014-15 season. The same season Bournemouth won the Championship, so he's not won a trophy in a very long time. See if they can do it this year, as the free kick from Fraser Forster has been gone straight to Begovic in the opposite goal. They've already worked it to Dan Juma on the left. Looks to go inside and past Kyle Walker-Peters. In the end, it's not being able to get past him because he's been pulled back by the full-back. And a free kick it will be for Bournemouth. 4 minutes to go, plus added on time. Taking quickly to Gavin Kilkenny, the Irish youngster, who's just spent too much time on the ball there in the midfield, and he's lost it, and they look to break here. Southampton with Che Adams finds the gap through to Diallo in the box, down the byline. Can he work the cross? No, his touch is too heavy, and he allows Kartovikas to see it out for a goal kick. You can see Diallo there not really used to being that far forward. His footwork skills weren't quite on it there in terms of trying to get past the player. It's Dan Juma for Bournemouth. Can he take on Armstrong this time? No, he can't. Nicely won back. It's now Walker-Peters. Goes into the midfield now with James Ward-Prowse. Back to Jack Stevens. Now Mohamed Salisu forward. It goes to Diallo. Nice little touch into Nathan Tella. First time ball looking in behind for Adams, but it's been stopped by Cook and clearance straight toward Prowse. It's Diallo who works himself away from Gavin Kilkenny. It's now Armstrong. Ball forward for Che Adams in behind in the box. Could he look for the pullback for Nathan Tella? He looks for it, but he can't find it. Lifted ball in towards Tella. Not quite got to the target. And it can be cleared away by Bournemouth. Straight though back to Southampton with the centre-back Salisu. As they've got absolute primal control under this game now. Southampton. They've had pretty much the whole control since that first goal in the 37th minute. Bournemouth have struggled ever since going behind, and it's been a bit disappointing really for Bournemouth, who could have seen this as a real chance to get that first trip to Wembley in an FA Cup campaign, but not to be. It's Forster cleared for Southampton, but what a run it'll be though for Southampton to get to the semi-final. Scoring what will be 8 goals, not conceding any, as they nearly just did there with Surridge winning a header from a Stacey cross, and he headed towards goal, but it was an easy save in the end for Forster. Nice battle in there from Kilkenny in midfield, and Wilshere shifted it out wide right to Stacey, and he actually worked it to Jayden Anthony out wide right, who then got the cross in himself. And as Jack Stevens slipped, it allowed Surridge to have a free header, but easy save as Forster just again had to go down low to his left and stop the ball from crossing that white line. And it's going to still be that clean sheet for Southampton. It's been a 2-0 win against Shrewsbury in the third round, 1-0 win in the fourth round against Arsenal, a win in the fifth round against Wolves away, and now it's going to be a quarter-final win away, 3-0 against Bournemouth. As Kyle Walker-Peters is being replaced for the last few minutes by Kane Ramsey. The last time he put on a shirt for Southampton and got on the pitch was in that 9-0 loss to United away. And to be fair to Kane Ramsey, sometimes it's hard to come back from games like that at such a young age, but he's bounced back. He's going to get a few minutes in this FA Cup game, and the final change for Southampton is Che Adams coming off the pitch for Dan N'Lundulu, the big Frenchman. The big Frenchman? Why is it that? I think he has French heritage there, but he's the English striker. And there he is on the ball, N'Lundulu. To Armstrong. N'Lundulu, though, yet to score for Southampton. That's a lie. I didn't mean to say that. He had scored for Southampton, and it was in that FA Cup game against Shrewsbury in the third round. But that's his only senior goal for Southampton, and now which is going to be his 15th appearance. Dan N'Lundulu, big striker, big 6'2" figure up front. Diallo to Armstrong, flips on nicely to N'Lundulu, to Redmond, and he gets the ball back for off Redmond here on N'Lundulu, just on the right hand side. Plays it to Kane Ramsey. Every time Kane Ramsey's played in the senior team for Southampton, he's made 3 senior appearances before this, the 20-year-old right back. Every time he's been involved in a game where he's put on the shirt and he's played, they've all ended in losses. So that isn't too great. This is his second FA Cup appearance. His other one came not last season, but the season before, in the 2018-19 season, where they were knocked out by Derby after being beat on penalties after two games, after the game having to go to a replay. But it looks like he will be on the winning side this time, despite not playing too much of the game, as Teller looks to be brought away there, but Meppen with a strong challenge, avoiding any further goals for Southampton. Brunsey, yes lad, how you doing? Leave a like, mate, if you haven't already. Nice to see you in the stream. Redmond, Ward-Prowse, works it to Nathan Tella down the line, back towards goal. Carter Vickers not letting him get past, and he puts a foot in the end and tackles him. 3 minutes added on, we're playing a minute of it already. Surridge looks to get on the end of it, but won back by Salisu for Southampton. Now here's N'Lundulu. He'd love another goal in a Southampton shirt. Obviously, like I said before, got his first one in Southampton colours against Shrewsbury in that 2-0 win at home at St Mary's to start off this FA Cup campaign for Southampton, as he's got the ball back, can't quite lay it into Armstrong, as he didn't make the run forward in the end, and the ball trickles for a throw for Bournemouth, as there's 90 seconds left of this first quarter-final of the FA Cup in this season's 2020-2021 campaign. The other quarter-finals are Everton, Manchester City, Chelsea, Sheffield United, and then Leicester, Manchester United. So some big games. Stacey looks to lift it forward and behind for Surridge, but it's a great interception by Salisu. Lifts all of his body in the air, and he's been battered to the ground there by Surridge. It's got to be a yellow card. Salisu, who'd won the ball and he was looking to clear it, and Surridge, who obviously is feeling quite the frustration, went right into Salisu with a body charge, but that's not a shoulder barge, that's a body charge. Right into him there, right into his chest. That's really dirty play. He knew he wasn't going to get the ball and uses his elbow and shoulder to charge into Salisu and knock him right into the ground there. That's a yellow card for Surridge. Dirty play. Salisu's back on his feet and he will be okay, but it's a really unnecessary challenge there. So late into the game, we've got 15 seconds left. He will be okay, Salisu. He's back on his feet. Man of the match is obviously going to be Nathan Redmond as well, just before the game ends. 2 goals and an assist. He's been fantastic. And like I said, this game could have been 5-0 if it wasn't for VAR in this game. I know we're at a championship ground, but VAR was being used. And Bournemouth are lucky it is, because it could have been 5. As Fraser Forster sends that free kick down the channel, and that's when Martin Atkinson will blow for full time. Southampton progress to the semi-final of the FA Cup after a really demoralising second half to the season, where Southampton have gone from being at one point top of the league to now 14th and only winning 1 Premier League game in their last 13. They've got a little bit of a distraction in the FA Cup as they do progress past Championship Bournemouth into the semi-final, and this quite topsy-turvy season for Southampton could possibly end in some silverware. They will have to get past some Premier League giants to win this competition, but they're still involved, they're still there, they're in the semi-final. They've got as much of a chance as anyone else, because you know what the FA Cup's like, anything can happen. They've already won the competition once, back in 1976. Could they win it in 2021? We'll have to see, but for Hasenhüttl, this will be a massive achievement for his team, who've obviously struggled, like I said, in the second half of the season after being so good in the first half. But for Bournemouth, it's just going to have to be full concentration on the Championship as they look to at least get into the playoffs minimum. As they do sit 7th, they've got the likes of Barnsley ahead of them, Reading I think as well ahead of them, Norwich, Watford as well. So they've got quite a bit of work to do if they want to get guaranteed playoffs, because the Championship isn't easy. It's a very demanding 46 game season. So hopefully for Bournemouth they are able to get to the playoffs and try and get back straight into the Premier League. But we'll have to see. But for the FA Cup for this season, it is over for them. They did a lot better than they did last season. To be fair, Bournemouth. So it's a big step. It's their second ever quarter final. They've done themselves proud to get to this stage. You know, having to beat Oldham, Crawley, and travelling to Premier League Burnley to get to this stage, but they've been beaten fairly so. Southampton definitely deserved it in the end. Really showed their Premier League quality, and Southampton, like it said in the chat, they go marching on. That is for sure. Great commentary. Cheers, mates. Fine. But yeah, the Saints are marching to Wembley. They're marching on. The last semi-final they went to was, I think, in the 2017-18 season, where they came up against Chelsea, who ended up winning the competition that year. So maybe it could be a good luck charm for whoever faced Southampton next round, because the last time Southampton were in the semi-finals and they were beaten, the winners of that semi-final, Chelsea, did end up going through to win the competition. So who knows? We'll have to see, but they'll fancy it. They'll definitely fancy it, because you don't get to an FA Cup semi-final for no reason. You've got to win matches, and you've got to be strong in knockout games, and they've done just that. Southampton. If you are new and if you haven't already subscribed and liked, please do so. No commentaries now up until the 3rd of April, but we will have some international watch-alongs in the next 2 weeks. I think I'll do a Scotland watch-along where it won't be a commentary like you see here, where I tell you every single action of the game. But There'll just be more me watching the game as a football fan, talking to you, football fans, and we'll just have a sit down, we'll watch the game, and yeah, I'm going to trial that and see how it goes. And if they do well, then I'll do more of them. If not, then at least we tried them. But make sure you keep a lookout for them on the channel there in the next 10 days or so. Next commentary, 2 weeks to the day, Saturday, 3rd of April. What is it, 3rd or 4th? 3rd of April, Leeds versus Sheffield United. Make sure you are here for that. And then we've got the Champions League quarter-final. We're going to be doing Porto versus Chelsea. That's going to be on the Wednesday. That's on the 7th of April. So big commentaries to look forward to. But thank you to everyone who joined for today's one. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for joining this FA Cup quarter-finals. But Bournemouth, unfortunately, fall short at the quarter-finals. And it's Nathan Redmond with a 5-star performance for Southampton as they go marching on to the semi-finals. They'll have a trip to Wembley against another Premier League opposition. Who it will be, we're yet to find out. But all they know is they've booked their place to the semi-final, and they don't have to do any worrying now as we go into an international break.